Welcome to the Red Glyph guide. The Red Glyphs are a rift challenge found under Tomb 6 or the current tomb as of now. Selecting the Red Glyph challenge will spawn a Red Glyph onto the map. Each Red Glyph challenge will increase its value in blood points, and the demand for more Red Glyphs will also increase as you progress through the levels. And there are a total of 4 Red Glyph challenges. You will be able to spot and hear the Red Glyphs when it's within 8 meters proximity of you. If you're in doubt what 8 meters is in game, here's an example. If a glyph spawns downstairs, you will have a hard time hearing it from upstairs. Here's an example, just proving that it's almost silent. The glyphs follow the same rules for sound as generators, it would seem. Once you have found a glyph, you can commune with it to remove it. This takes 3 seconds for survivors and rewards you with 500 blood points in the objective category. It takes 1.5 seconds per killer and rewards you with 500 blood points in the hunting category. Up to 5 glyphs can spawn in the map, 1 for each survivor and 1 for the killer. Each glyph is private and cannot be seen by anyone else, with the exception when someone is communing with the glyph. That goes for both killer and survivor. There is one exception to this rule, and that is when you're spectating another survivor, you can't see the glyph until it has been communed with. After that, the spectator can see the glyph at any range, unlike the person in the trial where it disappears outside of the 8 meters radius. As for spawn locations, then I have about 100 screenshots to back up my findings, and about 150 to 200 trials trying to track down the Red Glyph. They will all be provided in the Dropbox link below. The Red Glyph can spawn almost anywhere with the exception of the basement, and at least more than 8 meters away from your current spawn location. An educated guess based on these findings would suggest at least 20 to 30 meters away from you. Just to give some examples of spawn locations, then it can spawn outside and inside of any given tile, like jungle gyms, TL walls, the shack, generic loops, hills, the open, next to a generator, the hatch, the hook, and so on basically. It seems to have a few specific traits though, like it needs at least 1 meter's distance to any given object. Here are some examples, but this is rather clear. If you have ever found a glyph stuck inside something where it wasn't accessible, that was most likely just a bug that has been fixed. The glyph spawn seems to be area based and not specific, based on the fact that I have found the glyphs in several different places in the shack. As for the top 4 places I have found the glyph the most, then it's TL walls, the jungle gym, the hills, and the shack. However, I think this is just confirmation bias, as these are locations where you often loop a lot, or is it simply a random factor, or simply because there are so many TL walls on the map, so you will often run into them as well. The Red Glyphs are categorized as a prop in the game, but it cannot be tracked by a map as stated on Wikipedia. I have tested this out just to be sure, and it is true that the map cannot track down the Red Glyphs. The glyph also offers no form of interaction with items in the game, like flashlights, the light beacon from the glass bead, firecrackers, and other survivors sticking their head through them. As far as I know lore-wise, the glyphs themselves are tied to portals to different worlds, as you can see in the chance here, but they have no such practical use, at least of yet. Perhaps later on we'll see something pop in the game that they'll bring in, like all these different rarities on these items that are listed on Wikipedia. That's what I can think of. That is all for now. I hope you enjoyed this short guide on the Red Glyphs, and it kind of helped you understand a little bit better and where they spawn and what they are and how you find them. And yeah, take care.